This might be a little, yeah, this is a better one. Oh, look at the big one with him. Do I have another rod?
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's summertime has started. You know, it's been pretty cool. A lot of the lakes in this area have been high, and now they're getting down, you know, to a reasonable fish stage where you can fish offshore. Water temperature is about 80, and these fish are getting offshore. And what happens is they get offshore. When they get out there, they're dumb. You can catch them on about anything. And we're probably in the week or second week of them being out, which means they've been pressured. We got clear water, and for me, there's not a better offshore bait than a swim bait. You know, this is a 5-inch Scottsboro, but you can just literally throw it out there, let it hit the bottom, and wind it through the school. Now, the trick is finding the schools. Once you find a school, it's easy. You know, we're just looking on points, drains, saddles, anything like that. But I'm not fishing unless I see them. You know, we'll idle, find some schools, and then make a few casts. But, you know, there's nothing, everybody knows I like frog fishing, everybody knows I like spinnerbait fishing. It's hard to beat that swim bait bite out there deep. It's kind of like a spinnerbait bite where they just cut your line. So let's see if we can catch one. And I throw a swim bait, you know, summertime, wintertime, anytime the fish are offshore. But the thing I like about it most, it's kind of like a spinnerbait. You can control the depth. You know, if I was throwing a deep diving crankbait, I would be limited to that depth that crankbait runs. And literally this, I can fish it as shallow as I need to, down to 30, 35. I've even caught some in 40 on this. I just let it, throw it out, let it hit bottom, and then just start slowly reeling. You want to keep it, you know, somewhat close to the bottom, but it depends on how the fish are positioned too. I've seen at times where, you know, there's 10 feet off the bottom and you got to reel it a little faster, but you'll see me, these are pretty close to the bottom. You'll see me just reel it, and every now and then I'll kill it just to make sure that I'm close to the bottom. And I'll get a lot of bites when I kill it. I think they track it and they track it, and then when you kill it, it just kind of triggers their feeding or reaction. I still haven't got to them yet. They're about another 50 yards up there. A lot of times when you throw out there and it goes through the school, as soon as it hits bottom, it's like 3 cranks. Now, that's not even a big one, and he freaking choked it. You want to get back in there as fast as you can. He was right in the middle of those white bass. Those white bass were hitting it. Finally, he loaded up on it. Oh, easy, buddy. This is skinny. We want the fat ones. Yeah, it's just it was just a peck, 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 and then thump. Oh, I missed him. They want it when it's falling. Like when I check bottom, that's when they're hitting it. Got the cast down now. A lot of these fish will school the size. A lot of them do. You notice everything we've caught's been about the same size, so. And it keeps coming off. Another big spot. You know, I'm using a 1 ounce head. This is a Scottsboro head too. I want it moving fast down there. You know, if it was wintertime, I might go to a 3/4 to slow it down some. But I want the bait to move fast to kind of get their reaction. It's got a screw lock. You literally just screw it on. Want to get back out there before they cool off. Chasing shad up there, like pushing shad to the top. You know, when you find a school of fish, you know, you get, what happens is you know, you don't know what mood they're in whenever you pull up there. And it's just like schooling on top. You know, you want to get these fish fired up to where they're down there chasing. And it's real important after you catch one to get back in there, you know, as quick as you can. It just, if you let them cool off, they'll get back in that mood, and you may have to switch baits or, you know, speed your retrieve up or do something to ignite them again. You know, the more they see our bait, the less likely they are to bite it. You know, you kind of get them all competitive and you catch them by surprise in the beginning. You just got to keep them going. You know, with live scope, a lot of times what happens is people pull up on a school and they say, well, that, you know, I caught 7 or 8, they quit biting. What happens more times than not is they move. They just move over here because you've pulled them off, and that's where live scope comes in. Like I got one transducer pointed that way and one that way, and we can just watch and see where they move to. As of right now, they're still sitting there. It's all the same size. This might be a little, yeah, this is a better one. Oh, look at the big one with him. Do I have another rod? Get one first. It's like a 5 or a 6 pounder with this one. They're getting bigger. My swim bait's mangled, but it's more important to get back in there. I always like to clip off the nose just a touch. And what that does is it gives it a better surface against the head. And as we're sitting here putting this on, that school is probably cooling off, so. This is a big one. There we go. I bet we saw him earlier. Usually right on top of the head. Just spawned. You know, we're early June, but everything's behind. We've had high water, so I'm gonna bet this fish hadn't been off bed a couple of weeks. So much fun when they get out here. It takes work finding them, idling, but when you find them, like it's anchor lock and just sit here and have some fun. What I had to do on that is when I first started catching them, I was just reeling it. And on that retrieve, I would reel it and get it up high and then kill it. See if it gets them going again. So I'm pretty picky when it comes to the setup on swim bait fishing. You know, I want a rod that has a lot of tip. You know, I've caught 10 pounders on this exact rod right here. This is a 7.4cc 6174 Cara. It's a 6-power. It's got plenty of backbone. This is an open hook. I don't need a broomstick. You know, my thinking is when I'm reeling it, you know, I can watch that rod, and when they eat that swim bait, that rod kind of loads up like catfishing, you know, and then you're able to get them. I don't need, you know, like I said, a real heavy rod to sink that hook. I'm using 18-pound Sunline shooter, 7.5 Lew's Hypermag, kind of that medium. You know, I don't want something too fast. I can control all of that with my hand. 1 ounce head and then a 5-inch Scottsboro swim bait. You can see here, you know, that one lasted a school and a half, just mangled. And they flat eat it. And what's crazy is, you know, for a bigger bait, even though smaller fish will have it choked down, there's just a bait they like. You know, it mimics the shad perfect, and right after the spawn, that's what they're concentrating mainly on is shad.